Welcome into We Talk Ball. It's Thursday. I'm Chris. That's Austin. Hey, while you're here, go hit the subscribe button on YouTube at College Sports Crew. You can also follow us on Twitter at College Crew and on TikTok at College Sports Crew. We got Final Four, SEC over and unders, and hot seat tonight. Loaded show. Austin, how's the week been? Is it my MJ flu game today? You had one a couple of weeks back.
I did. How's the family feeling? Everybody feeling better?
The wife has her the wife's on the tail end of it. The 7-year-old is I don't know, kids, man, they're so freaking day two. She was fine day two.
Yeah,
I'm like halfway through day one and I feel like I'm dead.
yeah. Well, I'll text your wife and tell her to make sure she takes care of you because I know what it feels like when men get sick. It's rough on
It's
us, man.
it's so rough on us. If you see me cheering now, we got some big time baseball on tonight. We don't ever talk baseball, but yeah, Georgia going up 6-2. So awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into it. So Jamal didn't do his show this week, so which we're not going to dig too much into it. We're going to do it again. We're going to talk some basketball. We got the Final Four set. Austin
Man,
I know my bracket's over. Duke's out. They're done.
dude,
Dude, how
like,
game?
dude, I was gonna say we can't. I know we're talking about the Final Four, but you can't skip past that game.
It
Like,
was,
matter of fact, you took a nap.
yeah.
It
That
was
my best friend Austin is that this is how great of a friend he was. I got woke up by my phone was literally on my shoulder and I was just sleeping on the couch and my phone just starts buzzing and I look down and it's Austin and I looked at it, I was like, I'm not answering. And then I closed my eyes back and I go, oh, he's calling me for a reason. And I
yep.
looked and I knew. I said there was a minute and 30 seconds left when you called. And I was like, and I just got up and watched the last 1 minute and 30 seconds. That was a hell of a game, man.
Man, it really was. I mean, as much as you want to say, I mean, Duke kind of, I don't know. I don't know if they got conservative or what, but I mean, kudos to them for UConn for just coming
I don't,
back.
yeah, what
Like
was it? They led like just the first 2 points of the game, something like that.
first 2 points on the game and the last point of the game is it. I mean, it was one of those, like you said, you went to sleep. I'll be honest, I was sitting out here on the porch with the kids playing around and I had muted the TV, but just didn't change the channel. And I kind of kept looking up and it was like a 19-point game or something at one time. And then I was like,
Mhm.
hey, it's 15 now. And wait, now it's 10, and the next thing I knew it was 5. And then it was like, wait a minute, let me go play in the yard, kids. Let that has got to lock in for a minute. Um, but I've always said when a game that you don't have, theoretically a dog in the hunt, like,
No,
not a fan of
it's
either
the
team,
best.
and it gets you to jump off the couch, excited. My wife even jumped up when they hit that last shot. Like,
There's
yeah,
nothing better than watching a game you're not emotionally invested in.
yeah,
A good game. Like, there's
a
nothing
g-
better.
a good game. Yeah,
Yeah, there's nothing better. And I'm hoping this Final Four, we got Arizona versus Michigan, Illinois versus UConn. Um, an Athletes Forum podcast is in. He didn't get to do his show Wednesday, but he might be doing one Friday. Currently driving from out of town. Uh, but yeah, man, it kind of feels like Arizona Michigan's the national championship, don't it?
it does, doesn't it?
I know.
I mean,
I kind of wish they were on the opposite sides.
I don't
Yeah, fair.
because I can
Like
stay up. I can stay up and watch that game on a Saturday. I won't make it to the end of the game on a Monday night. Uh,
9 o'clock,
college
baby,
basketball with a 9:30 tip off or something crazy for national championships.
on a
Insane.
Monday
So
night too.
yeah, on a Monday night. So I'm excited that it's Saturday. Can actually sit down and enjoy it.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, man, it just like I dang, I was supposed to pull up Jamal's clip on this part, but got to give our guy Jamal props. I'm gonna post a clip sometime tomorrow. I've been meaning to all week, but our guy Jamal on the Athletes Forum podcast that goes live every Wednesday. a couple of weeks back. I think it was right at the start of March when he was previewing the bracket. Mentioned Illinois as a team you need to watch out for, and here
Yep.
they're in the Final Four. And right now, UConn's with the fourth odds, I think, to win it. And I'm telling you, man, don't count out. I don't think UConn's gonna win it. I'm gonna ride Arizona. But don't count out UConn, man. Them boys, them
No,
good. Definitely interested. You think it's Arizona?
Michigan's playing great, dude. Like
Yeah,
I don't at this point though. That's the thing with basketball is, you know, that's why a big basketball tournament is fun, right? It's
yeah,
not like yes, you have your top teams, but somebody gets hot shooting a rock, anybody can win any given Saturday or whatever day they play on.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? I do think Arizona is the best team in the country right now. Just because of how they play on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, well,
They're
Michigan and
nasty.
Arizona, really, man.
Yeah.
They,
They're both their
yeah,
defenses are playing
yeah.
outstanding. It's one of those games you're like, this could be a low scoring game, but it probably won't
Mhm.
be. It'll probably end up being a 100 to 105 or something crazy. But
Yeah.
um,
Elite offense and defense by both teams. That's why I think
yeah,
this matchup's going to be fun. Like Illinois' got a really good offense. UConn's got a really good defense. Their offense has kind of been, you
yeah.
know, miss.
UConn has heart. That's
Yeah.
what they have. Um,
Yeah, he put Miss he meant to put Miss CFB to, currently typing. Miss CFB is not watching right now, I can assure you. She's been down for the count with strep throat, so she's not in the mood tonight to watch or partake in any crap talking. She was very happy though. Miss CFB talk was very happy with the game winning shot and UConn winning it. So especially when her husband, Mr. CFB talk, picked them to lose in the so, and
yeah, that makes it even worse, doesn't it?
yeah, and then my dog's getting blown out, you know, first round by St. Louis, baby Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Uh, but yeah, so all right, let's go SEC over and under, man. Let's talk those. I think FanDuel. I don't know. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen real quick. Yeah, FanDuel. Been releasing, and we'll get to Big 10, Big 12, ACC as shows stretch out over the summer. We'll eventually fit those in. But yeah, let's get into some SEC. Austin, is there any one particular? You know where I want to start because I want to be able to clip this so Bama fans can get off my ass. Because it's so funny when we started this show, I had become a big like Bama fans loved me,
Hmm.
and then this season here, this preseason, they're not loving me right now. I've gotten into it with a few of them on TikTok, but Bama 8.5. I'm down on Bama. If you've watched this show for the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, it's been no secret. The start of 2026, I have been down on Alabama. I've named my reasons why. I'm not going to rehash that. We'll talk about it when we get into preseason or preview time. But I don't think I'm that down. I just maybe it's the Nick Saban effect still haunting me. Like I just cannot see 8-4 or 7-5. I just can't. And I'm gonna go over. I mean, when I say I'm down on Bama, I'm thinking like 9-3, missed the playoffs. Um,
I mean, that's only one game over that total.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, you're taking the over still. I mean, if I were Vegas, I think that's right where I'd put it, or FanDuel, or, whoever. Um,
he was talking about Mrs. Athletes Forum podcast. Don't stream
gotcha,
and drive.
gotcha, gotcha.
That is true. That is true, Jamal. So let's go back to it. Yeah, Mrs. Athletes Forum podcast is
Currently
currently
time,
typing.
we got to
We
bet the
got to bet the
college fun
college
on.
fund on Michigan. Yeah, bear with us. I took an antibiotic before I came on here, so I'm a little woozy, and I ain't ate nothing either. So bear with us. So yeah, Bama 8.5. What you feeling on that, Mister Bama?
I think that's the number.
Think so.
I think it's an 8 to 9 win season. If you go look at the schedule, where I feel like a lot of teams. I don't know, man. I fall a little bit for the coaches talk because I was listening to DeBoer talk a lot this week, and he was talking about. I think he was mainly referring to the O line and talking about, yeah, we replaced a lot of guys, but the guys that we replaced them with are better. Um,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that,
No.
especially up front because they can't be worse. Um, because that O line was atrocious last season. Um, so I, I think that's a tricky line. If I were a betting man, I wouldn't touch it because I think I would be I would be not as surprised for them to win 8 games as I would them to win 10 games.
Well, thank God. I'm not even gonna clip what I said. I'll just let them hate on you this week. Um, Ole Miss 7.5. I'm not. I don't think either one of us. We've talked about it. I don't think Pete Golden's. I don't know. I'm not bought in yet. I'm not gonna let the emotions of the playoffs get in my head. I tend to get on things quick, and I'm not gonna do that here. I'm not sold on Pete Golden yet. We'll see. I think this year is gonna be massive, but I'm still gonna go over on that because Chambliss. I mean, maybe that's the one I'm overreacting to. Maybe what he did to Georgia in the Sugar Bowl is got me. But I
Yeah.
thought hell of a year. And I think personally, maybe you can make a case for Arch with how he finished the year. I think Chambliss, the top quarterback in the SEC at the moment. At worst, he's number two. At worst, he's number two. And so I'm not. And their schedule. Shoot, when I looked at their schedule, I mean, I saw at least 6 guaranteed wins, maybe 5.
So let's run down it.
Yeah,
You're going to play Louisville to open the season. I wouldn't say guaranteed, but should win.
yeah.
You got LSU coming home.
And toss up.
You go to Gainesville.
I'll give him that one.
Do we throw Vandy in there?
Yeah,
We
I'll
talk
give him
about
that. That's 3.
that. No Missouri, to
I'll give him that
Texas,
one 4.
to Texas. They get Auburn at home.
I'll give him that one 5.
Yeah, Georgia at home.
I'm not gonna give him that one.
They go to Oklahoma,
Yeah, toss up.
and then you got the Egg Bowl. Nah, I skipped. Nah, I skipped. So I skipped Wofford.
Yeah.
So that'd be 6.
Yeah.
And I skipped Charlotte. So there's your 7.
I can get to 7. No, I wouldn't say easily. Florida could happen. Auburn could happen. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be easy. But I'm more surprised at that just because Chambliss is coming back. Maybe I'm too high on Chambliss. I don't know. I'll be curious if you got a comment. Drop a comment. Maybe I'm too high. And then Lacey's back also. That's another.
Lacey being back, honestly, I think is the bigger part of it. I won't say bigger than Chambliss, but I think he's going to be an underrated part of that offense of returning. Not that he's underrated because he was a huge part of the offense, but you know what I mean. I think he means more to that offense than what we realize.
Do you have one that sticks out to you?
It does. Florida kind of stood out to me. I mean, they're at least thinking they're going to move in the right way.
I'm going to be so irresponsible in the amount of hype I give them. I typically don't. I did that last year where
that's what I was going to say. I got bit last year because I did. I was on the train last year, and
yeah,
good thing Miss AFP's talking right now. I don't know if she bleeds blue and orange.
No, I got on the Florida hype train last year. So I usually when I get on a hype train and then I
get burnt.
I typically don't hop back on it the very next year. But I am going to be pretty irresponsible when it comes to Florida hype this year. So I like them. I really do. The thing with Florida is they have talent. Like, they
Yeah.
have talent. Like, I know they went 4-8, but this team has talent.
Yeah.
That's one thing I think Billy Napier did a really good job getting some talent. I don't know that this talent is, a roster that's going to win the national championship. I do think there's enough talent, though, to be top 4 in the SEC, getting the playoffs. I really
Yeah.
believe that. If quarterback hits.
So I agree with you. Um, I want to push back, but at the same time I don't, because I do think if anybody can come in and flip this team quick, it's John Summerall. Um, if this was year two or uh if this was year 2 or 3, yeah, I mean there'd be no doubt. It, it just scares me to say year one he's going to come in and win 8 games and in a what 9 game SEC schedule.
He reminds me, I've watched way too much, and it's probably because I follow a lot of the Gator uh, uh, fan podcasts, which they do a phenomenal job. But he reminds me. Let me
We
make
need to get you a T-shirt, man.
no, yeah, no, I'll never, no, yeah, we're burning on air. We are not. I would never wear, never. I don't even
Oh.
make bets because I'm too scared I'd have to wear one. I did it 1 year with my boss, and I never did it again after that because the game was actually close, and it was too close for my liking. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. Jamal, he's conflicted on the quarterback. I'm a little conflicted, but the one thing that's got me, Buster picked him, and Buster knows him. He was with them when they, were at Georgia Tech. And so I don't know. I'm feeling good about him. I'm feeling good. When I clip this, I want to make it clear I'm not comparing these two under no circumstances, but Summerall does remind me of like just the way he preaches physicality, the way they practice, the way he is in practice, clips I've seen of him. He's very similar to Kirby Smart to me. Like, he
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of Kirby Smart. So, all right. He has gray hair and he's also bald. And I've already placed it on his seat for the last week in October. Oh man. If y'all ever see me wear a Gator shirt, yeah, that's bad. You know what else caught my eye?
What's that?
You want me to go ahead? So last year on this show, I had a team that we picked that I went ahead and announced I was down on. That I wouldn't say nobody. I wasn't the only one that did this. I think it was me and a few others did, but it was a very small group. And I may not be the only one on this. Opinions are just now forming, and as we get into the summer on stuff. But I haven't seen anybody say it yet. I've seen people say the opposite on this one line in the SEC, and Oklahoma 7.5. A lot of people are like, they don't understand it. How could it be that low? People are like, I was listening to a couple of shows this week, mash the over, mash the over. I'm here to tell you, mash the under, baby. I am out on Oklahoma this year. I'm out. Last year was Texas for me. I told everybody Texas was more likely to go 9-3 than win the national championship when they were preseason #1 team. I do not like Oklahoma this year. Dude, have you seen their schedule, by the way?
No, yeah, I have, but I don't remember it.
Oh my God. There's a legit shot. Let me look it up on here it is. I don't have the schedule, but when we get to our hot seat thing, we'll get to this. There's a legit, they could legit start 2-3. They really
Yeah.
could. They start the season within the first 6 weeks. They have at Michigan, at Georgia, and the Red River, Texas. This is a team that had a lot of close games last year. A lot of close games. Let's see. Yeah, so many close games last year. And I'm not a big believer in Mateer. I wasn't a big believer in him at Washington State. I thought he was decent, but I'm not that great. I don't know that the run game is going to be fixed. And I don't know, man. Oh, actually, I do have their schedule. At UGA, at Michigan, Texas, at Florida, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. I put those as all toss-ups, and I gave them wins on these 6. UTEP, New Mexico, Kent State, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Missouri. I don't like that I have 6 toss-ups.
Yeah.
I'll give
Let
them
me ask.
Aggie, maybe.
Let me ask you this: if you had to take over under
Mhm.
on any team on this list, and you had to bet the house on it,
Oh, that's easy.
what you taking?
Vandy under 6.5.
Wow.
Yeah, no, Vandy's not hitting that. I ain't even looked at their schedule, which we should have. I was gonna have everybody's schedules pulled up, but I
Yeah.
slept all the way up until, or I tried to sleep all the way up until the show started.
You know what I
Um,
think mine is?
what is it?
A&M 8.5.
Ooh, which
I don't.
me and
I
you've made it known we're not big on A&M this year.
I don't think they got a shot to get there. I've got their schedule up here, and
All right, let's go through it.
all right. You start with Missouri State,
Okay.
then you have Arizona State. You got
Mm,
Kentucky. Yeah, the Arizona State game toss up. I'm leaning Arizona State right now. To be
mm,
honest with you.
I'm gonna go Texas A&M.
Okay. Then you got Kentucky. So I'll give them the dub there.
I'll give them
You
that.
go you go to LSU.
Give me LSU.
You got Arkansas.
I'll go Texas A&M. Yeah, Texas A&M.
Yep. You got Missouri.
Texas A&M.
You got Citadel.
Texas A&M.
Then you finish with Alabama, Tennessee, and Oklahoma.
Oh, I'll go Alabama. I'll go Oklahoma. Tennessee's interesting.
Oh, and I missed South Carolina.
Mm, yeah,
So
it was definitely not as easy as it was last year.
right, that ending is brutal.
I'm just not a big believer in Marcel Reed. I'm just not a big believer in Marcel Reed. I'm telling you right now, if Georgia hits a grand slam right here, I'm just going to throw my laptop. It didn't. It went out. Never mind. But yeah, I just don't like. I'm Marcel Reed, man. So I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter. You know, we're getting to mock season, draft season's coming up. Love that time of the year, but you're starting to see a lot of the NFL guys starting to watch a lot of college tape. And I've noticed this week, apparently, a lot of mock guys have been watching the wide receiver from Texas A&M that's in the draft, and so
Yeah.
obviously they're having to watch Reed. And I wish I had it to pull it up, but a lot of them were like, "This Marcel Reed guy is bad.
Yeah.
Like this is some bad tape." So I don't know, man. I'm I am buying all the stock I can on Texas A&M for the future because I think Mike Elko is absolutely phenomenal. I know a lot of people that probably watch show don't pay attention to recruiting because people hate recruiting nowadays, but
Yep.
they currently have the number one class and they are recruiting lights out. Like, call it money, call it whatever you want, doesn't matter. They are getting some effing dudes. So as far as A&M as the program going forward,
Yep.
you can't. I'm buying all the stock and I'm holding on to it for as long as I can. But if you're telling me for 2026, I am completely out on them for 2026. Jamal said maybe it's just him, but he's feeling the in-conference schedule for a lot of these teams is brutal, especially that extra game. Yeah, they've talked about it, man. SEC coaches are not happy. They're not happy.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what that looks like when there's going to be a team with an extra loss to an SEC team that's going to get left out of the playoffs. It's going to happen. It is. It's just math. Curious to see how the SEC changes their tone on whole. I know we don't talk expansion and everything, but the one thing we have right now is the SEC is against it, and that is what's helping it not happen. But when you start, you change the schedule. Now somebody's getting left out because they lost to an SEC team.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, and
I
I'd
mean,
be curious to see.
yeah, no, you're right. That's gonna happen. They're gonna this year may push the SEC to. Well, I'll just say it because I know you wanted to beat around the bush for my feelings. This season may push them to 24 teams. I would
Yeah,
put back and say I don't know, do your effing job and win your games, then you won't have to worry about it. But whatever. Coaches, they're all about themselves. And I was at, what's funny is I was reading a book. Just finished a book. It was about Dean Smith, the North Carolina State coach, and Coach K,
yeah,
and the rivalry between them two back in the day. It was a very, very good book. There's a part in the book, and it was so funny. It was back when the tournament was, I think, only 30 some odd teams or 16 teams. I think it was 32 teams or something like that. And they were arguing about expansion. And the coaches just like emitted, like, this was back in the 80s or 70s or whatever. It almost sounded like I was in 2026 again. Uh, they were sitting there talking about how we need to expand so we can keep our jobs, is what one coach said in the book. And here we are again. So it's like it just keeps going. One more, also. I have one more. You may not, or you may have another one before we move on. Auburn 6.5. I think that was an interesting one. They were in a this team went 0-6 in one possession games last year. They were
yeah,
in like I feel like I went back and looked at it, other than they had a really good defense. If Auburn had any semblance of offense or quarterback play, this team could have been. Hugh Freeze may still be the coach at Auburn right now if they had any kind of quarterback play, because they were in almost every game. I don't have. I mean, I have the schedule. I don't have it in order, but they got Baylor, Southern Miss, Vandy, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Sanford. That's who I wrote. Like I just said, those were wins. I
yeah.
wrote loss as Georgia. And so you got 6 wins there, 1 loss Georgia, and then I said toss ups were LSU, Ole Miss, Florida, Bama, Tennessee. I only put Bama because the Iron Bowl was wacky.
Hey, stand on business, man. If you're gonna say it, say it. Don't
No,
say something and start trying to cover it up. I'll only put Bama. Oh,
no, I'm being honest. They almost beat them last year.
okay.
I just said I think Bama will win, but you got to put the Iron Bowl as a toss up. The Deep South's usually not competitive, so Oh, I thought you were
I,
fixing.
no, no, I had to cough. I had to cough. I didn't want to cough in the mic. I'm choking on. When you're trying to hold something in because I've been trying to save it,
Yeah.
and it's like in my throat right now, and I feel like I'm coughing, choking on it because I'm trying not to say something. But you know what? I might as well go ahead and say it now. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. I think John Summerall knows what he has to do to win over Gator Nation, and I may bet the farm late October, the last Saturday in October, for the Florida Gators to win in Jacksonville this year. So if we're gonna throw shots, I might as well go ahead and throw a shot.
Okay, whatever. Jamal has a Jamal's Austin. Who's Bama's quarterback? What are you hearing? Have you seen anything? I haven't.
It's
I haven't.
quiet.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet from what I've seen.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it's Mac.
I do too. And part of me is like no, but then part of me watched him make some throws in the national championship game, and I'm like, he's
You mean
got
the
an
playoff
arm.
game?
Yeah, what I say, national championship game.
Been a little bit for that.
Damn, I did say that, didn't I? Hey,
Yes,
have you
I didn't think I was
have you
gonna get my shot in until next week.
have you seen the stat going around though? And the last 2 times Tiger Woods has had a wreck, Bama's won a national championship.
Oh hell, y'all gonna win it now this year?
Bama fans have been sharing it. There's a meme going around showing when he had a wreck and when we won national championships. So
No,
they,
I haven't.
Bama fans are crazy enough. They actually believe that. They're like, "Hey, it's our
Yeah,
year. Let's go." Um, they better hope. Tiger better hope we don't, because every Bama fan in the world is going to be chasing his ass around like Mario Kart every
making him
every
wreck.
year. Yeah, every year.
Yeah.
Um, but but no, the quarterback. I'm with you. I think it's going to be Mac. And don't know, man. I think Keelan Russell could be special.
I do too. I think his
Um,
ceiling's higher.
I think he can be special, and I think he can be his. Did you just say his ceiling's higher? Sorry,
I
I
think his
missed that.
ceiling's higher.
That's what I
Yeah.
was about to say, and I didn't realize that's what you said.
Mhm.
I think his ceiling is higher. I think Austin Mack is the safer choice. Um, but if Bama does go 8-4 this year, let's segue. Does that put DeBoer on the hot seat at Bama?
Yeah. I mean, it's Bama. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think. I don't know. I don't know if he's getting fired, but he's definitely on the hot seat. I can tell you that
It's
damn.
it's it's hard to, because Bama fans are so loud, and I'll even say obnoxious. So I is one, but I always say, my least favorite fan base in the world is Bama's.
Yeah.
Um, but because Bama fans are so loud, a lot of times it's hard to weed through what's the fans talking and what's actually going on at the university,
Mhm.
within the program. But yeah, I mean, if this season doesn't go well, um, I mean, I still keep saying they made it to the second round of the playoffs last year, and we act like they just sucked. And I get it. It's the eye test, and I'm more on the eye test
Yeah.
than you
I
guys
think it's
are.
just more how the
It,
season ended.
it was, and I get that, but at the end of the day, it was not a bad
I,
season. He went
yeah.
just as far, other than I think the blowout in the SEC championship hurt too. If that game were close, but other than winning that game, DeBoer went just as far as Kirby Smart did,
Mhm.
and we're
Yeah.
gonna have Kirby Smart sitting. We'll say top two uh, next week in best coaches in college football right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think no, it's fair. It's fair if you're looking at the totality of the whole season. It's hard to argue with that. It just is. I think it's more so just as we've said. I just think it's the way. If it was just you know they were playing decent to okay, didn't lose 28-7 in the SEC championship game, and then went into beat Oklahoma, and then then got
Lost a
beat,
competitive game
yeah,
to
lost a
Indiana.
competitive game to Indiana, or even getting blown out. Indiana ended up winning the national championship, so even getting blown out by Indiana, I think it was just the
So
multiple
you're
before.
saying the SEC championship was the kind of the end all?
No, I actually don't even think it's that. I think it's before the SEC. I mean, Bama, the vibes were down, but well before that game.
Yeah.
Like
No,
the
you're
vibes
right.
were down. I think most Georgia fans were only picking Bama because of the Bama fear factor. Like they always beat
Yeah.
them. But going into that game, that it'd been down for a couple of weeks, if I remember. It was almost like you had like 8 weeks. You had the FSU fiasco, which went terrible, and then they went on this tear for like 6-7 weeks straight, and then it kind of
Yep.
started downhill. Oklahoma, and a couple other games, it just didn't look right. And then by the time they got to the SEC championship game,
It
there was
caught up to him.
yeah, it was real debates on does this team even belong in the playoffs. I think they did, but the debates were had, and then Atlanta happened, and then Oklahoma, if not saying they got lucky, but I mean Oklahoma went up on a 17-0 lead, and it was like, oh Lord, they didn't look exactly pretty. And then, I just think it was all that stuff. So
Yeah. No,
still at
I
the end of
I
the day, you get to the playoffs, you won a playoff game, good season.
yeah.
What about the guy that is the most I mean, he's pre-fired, Mike Norvell. Is there anything he can do? There's anything he can well, I mean, there is. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Do you
Yeah.
think a bowl game?
Do I think a bowl game saved them?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, FSU's pretty poor, so
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't. Do you know what his buyout is?
I don't, but I know it's pretty big. Talk about it while I look
Yeah.
it up.
Um. Yeah. I'm with Mike Norvell's got to do nothing less of. He's at least got to make it to Charlotte.
Really?
I mean, I just, how do you not, like, you've had fiasco, we'll use that word, of season before last. And then, you come into this season with pretty high hopes. You start the year off, you beat Bama, and then it's just downhill from there. Um, yeah, I don't know that anything shy of making it to Charlotte saves his job unless they can't afford his buyout.
Looks like the buyout will be like 50 million. Yes.
All right. So maybe he needs to win 4 games this year, and that might save him.
Yeah. He went 5-7 last year, so I'm gonna say 6.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Really
Make a
good.
bowl game with a all right with a $50 million buyout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does change things. Um, but I mean, Florida State has some closet boosters that they only come out when they're winning.
Yeah.
If they get the right fish on the line and they make a couple phone calls saying, "Hey, we got whoever," um, they could come up with the money.
Yeah. What about athletes former probably say FSU is going to be the first job open. I believe that too because I think early in the season they play. I know Miami at some point, Alabama. I think they play early in the season.
Hmm.
Yeah, first half of their schedule is the hardest part. And I agree. I had looked earlier. I think it was like yeah, I think they had to play. Let me think. I have it written down. No, I don't. Yeah, but I remember seeing it was like Miami and Alabama. So that was like to me that's 2 L's right there. Sorry, iPad just went off. Can I go ahead and declare Clemson dead?
Take it.
Jamal says 4 out of the 6. Bama, UVA, Miami, Pitt. Oh yeah, he may be gone before we get to October or halfway through October.
Yeah. Matter of
So
fact,
yeah,
I think we said that on the show before that he
yeah.
won't. He may be the first one gone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Dabo, man, I would have fired him last year. I know people are gonna freak out about that because the 2 national championships, you know, however many years ago. But yeah, I would have fired him last year. But
Before you start talking about that, did you just read your iPad when it went off?
no, I didn't.
So I'm sorry to interrupt for a
It's all
special statement. Pete Thamel just tweeted Kansas sophomore Flory Badunga intends to declare for the NBA draft while maintaining his college eligibility and also intends to enter the transfer portal as he's keeping his options open to return to college. How the hell do you do all of those?
maybe I'm gonna go in there and tell my wife we're gonna stay together, but I'm gonna keep my options open.
I'm gonna see other people,
See other people.
but
Maybe
you
I'll go back
can't.
to you, or I might go to this new person.
I,
Who
I don't
knows?
know.
I
And
don't
then it
know.
said he averaged 13 points a game last season. Like, you better average more than that before you get all those kind of special
Oh
treatments.
God, with the way the
But
college sports is, he'll get 5 million. He'll get five
I
million.
know, I know.
He'll
Anyhow,
get five
sorry.
million.
I just read that and it blew my mind just the way it was like, all right, I'm gonna stay here, but I'm gonna enter the portal, but I'm also declaring for the draft.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyhow, back to
I,
Clemson.
yeah, I think Dabo's done. I just think the way he does dinosaur, it's just dinosauric. He won't adapt. He's gonna die off like the dinosaurs did. And
You know,
they're 11. Did you see the point spread for the LSU game already?
no.
11.5 underdogs.
Wow.
Yeah, 11.5.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say a joke here, and but I'm gonna come back and say, the we've always joked about, people say that is Kirby the new Dabo because he won a couple. And really, I mean, it has been a couple years since Georgia won one, but it's a completely different landscape of football. So I don't. Kirby has kept up with the times. Kirby has been competitive every single season. It's not that Dabo isn't winning national championships. I'm with you. I think it's the fact that Dabo is unwilling to adapt to the new times. And man, if Kirby went 10 years, didn't win another national championship, but stayed competitive like he is now, I would say Georgia should never fire him, right?
Yes.
Obviously. But, you think about Dabo, he's almost 10 years out from winning national championships, but he's not competing anymore because of his
7
lack.
and 6 and,
Yeah, but it's because of his lack of adapting to the new times.
yeah.
I also, when it came out, what, 5 or 6 years ago, and they had a couple bad years that Dabo might be on the hot seat. I thought Dabo could have gone anywhere in the country and coached.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Florida State takes him. I don't know. Um, I mean, they took Jimbo, and it's the same thing.
Hey,
Is
DeBoer maybe
Jimbo? Watch your mouth. DeBoer came to Alabama not to be there for 3 years behind Nick Saban
I'm saying
and
he may not
move
have a
on.
choice.
Oh, you're right.
Then Dabo can come home.
Yeah, you heard that BS he said this week after that was basically him saying Michigan didn't offer me the job, so I'm gonna make it look like I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
Um, but
What about Dave Aranda in the Big 12? And listen, we're not going to get to everybody because this is going to be a shorter show. We're going to end it here in a little while because I'm feeling more and more like death as each minute passes.
yeah,
Dave Aranda, 22 and 28 since the Big 12 title game in 21.
man, he just
Yeah,
the way he started off just with like gangbusters, and I just think he almost set the bar too high for himself. I think we had such high expectations coming out of him when he took that job, and it's just been mediocre.
it has. And what's been so bad is not his side of the ball is what's really bad. The last 2 years, at least, they were 105th in scoring D. And
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I've never thought he had the makeup of a great head coach.
yeah,
I just didn't. Even when he won the Big 12, I just said I'm going to wait and see. And I think this is his last year, unless Lagway hits.
that's that could be a saving grace. However, I mean, I'm not as sold on Lagway as I want to be. Um,
You
I,
know my
I
love
thought
affair for Lagway.
I love Lagway. But I'll be honest, I thought Lagway was good enough to put that Florida team on his back last year, and he again, I still think he's a great talent, but he wasn't that guy, right? He wasn't good enough to put the team on his back and go win football games. So, um, we'll see. But yeah, definitely think he's on the hot seat.
Lincoln Riley.
Who knows?
Who knows? But
That
not one conference title.
he's
Yeah,
been on my hot seat for the last 3 or 4 seasons,
yeah.
and he's done just enough to
He
like
did
get
last year. He did
by.
just enough last year. 9-3. Had right there at the very end was in a contention for the playoffs. Right
Yep.
there, Oregon game got beaten. It was over. Playoffs was over. So yeah, until the Big Ten everybody gets a trophy playoff, and then Riley can get in. But for now, he is not going to be able to. Not one conference title or playoff appearance in 5 years. And I'm telling you right now, I just think that's flat out unacceptable at USC. It's
I
just
agree.
unacceptable. There's too much talent in that state. You have too much money in that school. It's a private school. There's a lot of money there, a lot of money at that school, and under no circumstances should somebody. I'm all for patience, especially in this new world of college football where we have none. I'm all for patience, but I'm also a big believer if by year three, you kind of know you are what you are, and
Yep.
we're at year 5, and his schedule's hard. He's got Ohio State, Oregon, Washington, Penn State on the schedule, and
Yeah.
Indiana. So I see why they ducked out that Notre Dame game. I don't blame them. I'd be scared too.
Yeah. Here's my thing with that. You kind of said it right. I'm gonna say it a little more smart ass. You go to USC, all right, we got to recruit. You're in the best recruiting grounds, arguably, if not second best, in the country. So you should recruit at the highest level. Then, while you're there, we move into the NIL start, series of college football.
Los
You're at
Angeles,
one of
baby.
you're at one of the richest schools now. So not only are you in a recruiting hot ground, you've
Now,
got all the money in the world.
I don't mean to cut you off. They did get the number one class last year, but
Touche.
you're not 20 freshmen are not going to contribute this year.
Right. Um, so you're right. But this is the first year he's been up there, right?
Yes, 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 yes. It's finally. It seems like it's finally ticking off, but it's 5 years too late, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
This shit should have been taken off
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. There's no excuse.
No excuses. No excuses. I don't. It's a private school, so there's no buyout. But from everything that's been reported, the buyout is pretty monstrous.
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
don't know.
we were hearing 90 million at one time. I don't know
That's
if
right. I couldn't remember, but now that you
it,
said
it
that,
was
yeah,
it
you're
was
right.
90 million that we were hearing. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's the case. If they came across the right guy, I mean, there's enough money at USC. They'll find $90 million.
Does Brent Venables last year get him squarely off the hot seat or no? If because I'm thinking if he goes
Uh,
2-3 with Michigan, if he's 2-3 by the time the Red River ends, I think there's a possibility we see a James Franklin, you know, shocker mid-season firing from a guy that went to the playoffs last year.
I
Because
could
before
see
last
it.
year, he was on the hot seat.
Yeah,
He was
absolutely.
done with. If they did not
Um,
do what they did last year, Brent Venables would not be the coach at Oklahoma this year.
I don't know. That one is a toss up to me. Could go either way. I think he might have bought himself some time.
They're recruiting really
Uh,
well.
yeah,
Front office is good. Setup is really good. Seems like
right.
everything's yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that one because I don't know.
Here's another one I think you have to think about, and maybe I clip this and I'm going to be called an idiot. I think I will. Josh Heupel? No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But only reason I brought him up is because Tennessee fans were really pissed how last year went, and me
Yeah,
and you kind of pushed back on them. We kind of like I don't understand why everybody and their mama with any and even Tennessee fans. If y'all were being totally honest, y'all were like, yeah, probably an 8-win season. And then that's exactly what you did. And I
yep,
think that Georgia game where you almost won, should have won. I think that gave you false hope. I think the Oklahoma game was close. That gave you some. I think those close games with really good opponents. Alabama, I know the score's different, but for a minute there, it was, they were. If it went a pick six, that game may be different. It
yeah.
could have went a different way. And so,
But it was a
I have
pick
a theory
six.
though that's working in my head, and you know, with how much pressure is on these schools with all the chaos in college football, with all the, we're trying to get everything right for whenever happens, and whenever that comes, happens. And
Hmm.
Tennessee went through that 10-year decade of dysfunction that another 8-win season, they may be like, oh no, we're not going through this shit again. Nope, 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 nope. And maybe
Yeah,
get a little too gun shy or get a little too what's the word I'm looking for, Austin? My mind's blank. Go ahead and just pull the trigger and
yeah. No, I get what
get
you're
rid
saying.
of them and say, we're not doing this. And I don't think it'll happen, but it's just a theory I had in my head.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I think you might be overthinking that one.
Probably. I
I
tend to
think that
overthink.
I think that might be a kind of like I was talking about with Bama fans. It's hard to weed through the fan base talk and actually see what's going on at within the program.
Yeah.
Um, I think Josh Heupel has done a fabulous job working on that program because there
Mhm.
was a lot more at Tennessee than just winning football games that had to be fixed. Um, just with the program in general. And I think he's done a great job with that. Um, we may be clipping this next offseason and saying I'm a dumbass, but no, I don't think he's on the hot seat at all.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with one more real quick and then we'll end it. And listen, there's way more coaches on the hot seat. There's even more that I wrote down. But guys, I hope we did good tonight. But I am feeling like absolute dog crap. So we fixing to cut it. Shane Beamer. Is my guy Shane Beamer gone?
He's one I had wrote down. Um, yeah, I think he's on the hot seat.
I
After
listen.
after
Yeah.
how you performed last season with you gave everybody some hope. And I think that's the problem is, especially when teams get a feel of like
Yeah.
South Carolina, 2 seasons ago was this close. Like it was hype. Beamer balls here, baby. Like, let's go. And then you come out last year, and even us, we jumped on the train a little bit because
Yeah.
we love Lenore Sellers. Still love that kid.
I still love him.
Um,
I can't.
and I
No.
still wish he would have went somewhere else. Um, I hate that. It's so contradictory to what I normally say, but
Me too. I
I
so
want to see
badly
him
want them
play
to.
somewhere else. But
God, I want
anyhow,
to.
I think as bad as they were last year, I don't foresee them getting much better this year. I did read, I know his buyout last year was like 27.5 million. I assume it moves down some this season. That's an assumption, though. I've not read that, so don't quote me on
Yeah.
that. But I assume it does. Depending on where that goes, um, I'll actually be passing by University of South Carolina
Yeah, that's
this
right.
week.
You
I'll be
taking
up
it.
and be up in South Carolina tomorrow.
Must be
So
nice.
um, I'll get a good feel for how hot the seat is.
Oh, if you ask South Carolina fans, they're over it. I also think this is kind of a place, and maybe I shouldn't say this in this era because we did just watch Indiana win it. And if there's a team very similar to what Indiana was before Kurt, it is South Carolina. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of in a place right now where South Carolina fans may be living in a world that's just not reality. It's not rooted in reality to match what that school history is. I mean, if you other than Steve Spurrier, it's
But
been
even what did Spurrier win there? I
he had
mean,
11 wins
no, I get that,
and
but
went
he
to
still did.
Atlanta.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
right.
got booty blasted, but he went to Atlanta.
You're right.
I mean, I look at
You're right.
he
My whole.
yeah
I guess I was just saying, like even Spurrier couldn't get him to a national competing level.
yeah yeah
Um,
no, not national, but definitely their best three. I think it was a 3-year period. Trust me, as a Georgia fan, it was absolutely horrific.
yeah.
Um,
I
it was
remember
a three
watching
year
them beat
yeah, it was a three
Georgia.
year period. They were kicking ass and taking names, not
Matter of
nationally,
fact,
but
that South Carolina game is the reason that I call you when some exciting things are going on now. If you remember,
yeah, I
because
missed like
you
a
fell
whole game.
asleep for a whole half
Yeah, a whole half.
of a South Carolina Georgia game. I'll never forget that. Um,
Maddest I've ever been.
but anyhow, yeah. Beamer's on the hot seat. I
Yeah.
don't think he makes it. I think he's gone.
Ooh, clipping that. All right, guys, we're gonna end it. Hey, sorry if it wasn't our top tier. I think Austin brought it. I don't think I did. Your boy is struggling, but next week you're gonna want to tune in. Next week we're gonna hype the hell out of this on social medias. We're gonna push a lot of stuff. It's our favorite show of the year. It's the one I look forward to every year,
It's your
and
favorite show of the year.
yeah,
It
it's my
stresses me
favorite.
out.
My favorite show of the year. People are going to scream at us. They're going to yell at us. I'm looking forward to it. We are going to rank our top 25 coaches next week. So next Thursday, come join us. I'm sure Jamal will be back maybe Friday. He may be doing the show Friday, Final Four preview. Not 100% sure, but if he is, come to the YouTube channel at College Sports Crew. If he's not, come back next Wednesday. He'll be there. I think Pops is still trying to move. I need to check in on him on when his show will be back. But yeah,
Yeah, you need to check in on him because Arkansas down 9-1 to Auburn right now in baseball.
hey, UGA before we leave, UGA belt to ass, baby, 10-2. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go. Go UGA baseball. All right, guys. Y'all have a good weekend. Have some fun watching the Final Four. I'm gonna go curl up and act like I'm dying because that's what us men do when we're sick. See y'all next week.
See ya.